I'm going to see it in the breeze on my face. I'm going to see it in the smile of the people. I'm going to notice the love of God when people are helpful and they're kind and they're considerate. I will choose to be confident in His love. So one of the things I asked God, I said, God, I've been reading the book of Acts, and there's a lot of angel activity in the book of Acts. I said, Brother Stone King has preached to us about angels, and I said, you know what would really encourage me? What would really, I would really know how much you love me if you would let me see my angel. I didn't, at the moment I had forgotten that your angel's supposed to look like you, so that might be kind of scary, but I have two angels because Gerald Mangan assigned me another angel. Oh, you didn't know that could happen? Oh, yeah. I'm such a mess, it takes two angels to take care of me. But when I was in America, the first time back when Barrick went into the Army, I think I told you this. One day I was praying. One day, just a spirit of intercession. It's only happened to me a few times in my life where I'm just going in 1 second, and the next second, a spirit of intercession came on me, and I was praying for Barrick's protection. I don't know what was happening, that he was in danger. I don't think he was in danger at the moment because I asked him, but I think it prevented him from being in danger because I know just a powerful spirit of intercession. And in that spirit of intercession, I said, you know what, God? I said, I've got two angels. I said, and right now, I think I don't need but one. I said, I'm asking you to send one to Barrick. So, I think that God and His angels took care of my son. And so, I'm now in this hospital, and I said, God, what would be really neat is to see my angel. And at that time I was having one test after another, and one of the more unpleasant ones was an angiogram where I had to drink about a gallon of this chalky radioactive barium. And so they wheel me in this gurney into this brightly lit room, and they tell me that they're going to transfer me to this couch. And I'm laying there, and I look at this thing that they're calling a couch. And I said, y'all need to get a new name for that. I said, that's anything but a couch. I mean, when I looked at it, it was about 1.5 foot wide table of stainless steel. It looked to me like it had frost on it. You know, when you look inside the refrigerator, I mean, that room was cold. And I'm remembering coming down the hall in that gurney and the breeze, you know, that's kind of blowing around that hospital gown, and they're going to pick me up and put me on this couch, and I'm saying, honey, that's not a couch. That may be a terrorist torture table, but that is not a couch. And so, I mean, they're getting me up to put me on this thing, and those, whoever invented hospital gowns, because they're putting you on that freezing table. And then they run and hide behind this thick concrete wall and leave you there. Now, I like to tell this a little bit funny. I even left out some things because I tell it funny, but because I want you to be comfortable with it. But they're taking you in for tests. They're telling you that you've got cancer, and it has the potential to be the most terrifying moment of your life. And they leave you and they run behind that wall, and you've got all of this huge apparatus machine. And so I'm laying there flat on my back looking up at the ceiling. And they're getting ready to put me in this tunnel and put this contrasting dye in my veins and this radioactive stuff. And and doing all of this stuff so that they can give me more bad news. And just about the time before they put me into the tunnel, the Holy Ghost, Jesus taps me on the shoulder and he says, you see right up there at the ceiling, right next to that big apparatus right there, right to the right there at the ceiling. I don't know why angels like to hang out around the ceiling. But I've been a lot of places where people see angels up at the ceiling. They kind of line up around the top of the walls and they stand there at attention. And so God told me, he said, your angel is right there. And he says he just came from the throne room of my presence. And no matter what they do to you, or no matter what you go through, he will never leave you. And at the moment that I looked, I didn't see anything. But the moment that I looked in faith, there was a power and a presence that saturated that room. And I'm laying there and I'm crying. And the technicians think there's something wrong with me. And I say, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. And because they're calling over the intercom, Mr. Willoughby, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what am I going to tell him? Yes, I'm having church, okay? I'm looking at angels. There you go, these tumors are worse than we thought. But you see, to me that was one of the most magnificent moments of love, because I thought it was just kind of a crazy request, God, to ask you. And I know I don't seem, but I knew as sure as there was blue sky and apples are red and Granny Smiths are green, that angel was there. And I thought, I can go through anything because I'm confident of your love. Not hope so, think so, but I know so. And God, I just started concentrating on his love. You see, a lot of folks want life to be fair. And they get real ticked and angry at God because they look and they say life is not fair. The truth is, life isn't fair. If life was fair, I'd have some of Brother Timothy's hair. Brother David Yap, I'll take some of yours. I mean, Sister Barbara wanted me to think about getting a toupee while I was in New York. For medicinal purposes, to protect my head from skin cancer. Not vanity. I don't need hair to be pretty. But anyway, the place was closed, but I went, and so I got 2 hats instead. Because life isn't fair. There's a lot of things you're going to go through that there is no fairness in it. But this is something that I have anchored my soul in. He is just. There is no injustice. There is no wrong. There is no tragedy. There is no sickness. There is no disease. Jesus will not make right. In the end, here is what you've got to believe. I can't promise you that everything's going to work out fairly in this life. If I didn't live. You think that I'm going to get angry with God and say, this is it. All right, God, you either heal me or else I quit believing in you. You either take care of Barbara now or I quit. I quit pastoring. I quit preaching. I quit. I preach you're a healer and I'm not being healed. So I quit. You think that's what I'm going to do? You idiot, moronic devil. You think that's what I'm going to do? Here is the worst case scenario. I die. I go to heaven. How bad is that? I mean, that's the worst. That's worst case scenario. Guess what? I win. I get there before you. I'm going to be up there going, nah, 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 nah. You poor people. You're down there sweating and toiling, and I'm already up here on the streets of gold. I mean, that's the worst case. Now, that's not what I think is going to happen.